Okay, so we're going to look now at finding the denominator using trig. Now, every time we've found a side up to now, it has been on the top of the ratio, the top number, so it's been relatively easy to find that number. But now we're going to look at what happens when the missing side is on the denominator of the ratio. So let's have a look at this. So I've got 3 examples to do, 3 triangles for you to draw. Okay, so we'll split these down the middle. Right, so our first step is always to label our sides, so we can do that. We've got this triangle, we've got 30 degrees here, we've got 10 centimetres, and we've got x. So x is going to be our hypotenuse. This is going to be the opposite side, this is going to be the adjacent side. So if we do a little SOHCAHTOA down here, we don't have any information on the opposite side. We're looking for the hypotenuse, that can be ticked, and we're given the adjacent side, that can be ticked. So the one with 2 ticks is cosine, so we're going to be using the cosine ratio. So it is the cosine of 30 degrees, which is equal to A over H, adjacent over hypotenuse. So that is the cosine of 30 degrees is equal to 10 over x. So you should see what I mean about this problem. The x is on the bottom, not on the top, so it means it's just one extra little step that we need to do to solve this, and I'll show you here. So what we have to do first is get rid of the fraction. Now before we brought this bottom number up and times it at the top here, we're going to do the same thing with x. It's going to be x times cosine of 30, and that is going to equal to 10. But now I want to get x on its own. I'm trying to find x, so the way I do that is I now divide the other side by cosine of 30. So actually, if you look at this line here, the second line, and you look at our final answer, can you see that the only difference is we've actually swapped about the x and the cosine of 30, the x and the trig of the angle. So actually when we're doing these, all we're going to do when we get to this stage is just actually swap about the x with the cosine of 30, and that's going to get our answer. So all we need to do now is type that fraction into a calculator. So 10 divided by the cosine of 30. If you don't have your own calculator, the calculator on your device will be fine. You should have a cosine function on it, and mine tells me x is 11.5 centimetres. Okay, so I'm going to show you that method again with this next triangle. So if you could draw that please, this green triangle, we've got 46 degrees here, we've got 24 centimetres here, we've got x down here. So again, we're going to start by labelling it. The side across from the right angle is the hypotenuse, opposite the angle, opposite, beside the angle, adjacent. So SOHCAHTOA. This time we don't have any information about the hypotenuse. We've got the opposite and adjacent. So we've got the opposite, the adjacent, opposite and adjacent, so we are going to be using tan. So it is the tangent of 46 degrees, and that is equal to O over A. O over A. So the tan of 46 is equal to the opposite side, 24, over x. So we're in a similar situation as to where we were in the first one, and what we can say is we actually, to get x on its own, we're just going to swap these two about, just like we did in the last one. So 24 divided by tan of 46, that is the easiest way to think about it. And now if you just type that fraction into your calculator, that will get you that missing side x. .2 rounded to 1 decimal place. Okay. And we're going to do the last one, which is the yellow triangle. So we have 38 degrees, 6 meters, x here. So again, we're going to start by labeling it. So x for hypotenuse. This opposite side would be here, and adjacent side would be here. So, SOHCAHTOA. Right. It's not behaving. SOHCAHTOA. So we're looking for the hypotenuse. We can tick that. We don't have the opposite, but we have the adjacent. So this time it is cosine again. Okay, so it is cosine of 38 degrees equal to a over h, adjacent over hypotenuse. So the cosine of 38 degrees is equal to the adjacent side is 6, the hypotenuse side is x. Now we can use that little trick again, that we can just swap these two things about to get the x up the top left. So it's 6 divided by the cosine of 38. So put that in and then you'll get your answer. 7.6 meters to 1 decimal place. So very similar to what we've done already. It's just when we get to this stage, all we have to do is swap these two things around and then use that to get your answer.